Amir
Yeah,
called you.
Donald is not genius, but I am genius.
Why did I?
Go ahead.
Oh, thank you. I'd just like to respond.
Go ahead.
So I have a term. It's called "you cannot beat someone into submission." So if I tell you, well, I believe in ghosts, and you just go, well, you're an idiot, it's not going to work.
I
So
agree.
to Donald and No Name, when I presented to you what I was involved with, you did not put me down or make fun of me. Instead, you said, why don't you look into this? And that's what I did. So I thank you both because
No names.
your approach made me feel like, how would you put it, No Name? You weren't judging me, you were just lovingly
Respected.
guiding me.
Would
So for
respect
all
the
of you
word?
guys who want to
Yeah,
make fun of other people, it's not going to work.
It
I
won't ever.
agree. I agree that there are certain people that it won't work with, Joanna. And
But
I
others
think
need
one
to
of
be
the
ridiculed.
one of the differences that I saw with you, and I think I'm assuming or presuming Donald probably did too, was that you seemed really sincere in wanting to figure this shit out, right?
Yes, I saw that.
And so to me, it just seemed like, well, if you're sincerely looking to change your mind or learn things, then like I can respect that, right? Like I totally like that. Just there is no shame in being ignorant. There's no shame in having like I don't know
Ignorant is
bad
not an
information.
insult. That's what he's saying.
Yeah,
Ignorant is not an insult.
Ignorance not an insult. But there's a lot. There's a lot of these. What we were talking about earlier with this whole Dunning-Kruger thing is like so many of these flat earthers that come on here have this hugely misplaced confidence in their ability, in their knowledge base, right? And it makes them super close-minded. It makes them really arrogant, which is really ironic because they're the ones who are always like, be open-minded and shit, right? But they look at
Guys,
there's a type, right? And so like be on the lookout for that type where it's like they're just so close-minded. But they're the ones going around telling everybody they need to be open-minded and like research this and research that. I'm telling you, they're full of shit.
Hang on, Cal.
you know,
Also, I
have you,
posted a new video on my YouTube channel. Go watch it.
have you ever
I was
thought, why these kind of phenomena is rising? Like, instead of
Science
round Earth,
denialism. It's all science
people are becoming
denialism.
flat earther.
The
People are
int
man, but
the
they want to
int
become woman. You know why these things are actually emerging now?
wait, those are two different things, but okay.
You know
What?
why? Because these are late stage civilizational complacency, and lots of things are coming in the future, where the whole society is very distorted. You have no idea.
Yeah, I
Like
disagree with that.
What are you
whole
talking about?
rationality will
Cal's not a
will
very
go down
smart
insanely,
person. He
and
comes
people
to my
will
God house a lot. He
and
has
people
misunderstandings.
and people will have whatever they will feel, they will gonna accept it.
Are you
Earlier, it's
saying?
not the case.
Are you saying the flat Earth phenomenon? Is that what you're saying? The flat Earth belief is a
Yeah.
symptom of late stage capitalism?
Civilization, I
No,
think is what he
late
said.
stage civilizational complacency. It means when the civilization is leading to the end, the human civilization is going towards the end actually. So these are
Okay.
late stage
Well,
civilizational complacency.
explain why
And this is gonna
99%
happen
of
on a
people
very
on
rapid
Earth thought the
rise.
Earth was flat 3,500 years ago.
No,
Was human civilization coming to an end 3,500 years ago?
No.
I think it
At
was
that time,
beginning. It
people
seems
don't.
like it was just like beginning 3,500 years ago.
No, at that time you are not having distinction here. At that time, people have no knowledge of what the fuck, what
Well,
the
I would
whole thing
argue that
is.
these people have no knowledge either. They're the most ignorant people I've ever met. Most of them are the kind of people that slept through science
No.
class.
If you
Yes, they're
debate with
absolutely
flat
ignorant.
earthers,
They
hold on.
they couldn't do trig if you held a gun to their head. They couldn't tell
If
you they couldn't do orbital mechanics if you like threatened to murder their entire family. These are the people
hold
who
on.
spent their entire like
I'm
academic
making the
career
distinction here.
saying, why do I need to know this? This will not apply in my daily
This is
life
not the
when I
case,
grow
bro.
up.
This is
Right?
not the case. I am telling.
That is the
At
case. You're an ignorant
3,005
fool,
years ago.
Cal. You're an ignorant fool,
Hold on.
Cal.
Hold on, you bald person. Let me complete first. 3,500 Now the flat earther, don't consider flat earthers as unscientific. They have a good scientific knowledge. They know about the gravity. They know about
They don't
lots of
know
things.
anything about gravity. Tell me, what do you think the average person, flat earther knows about gravity?
My God,
Do you think
he's a
do
fool.
you
No,
think they've
you are a
looked
big
into
fool,
like
bro.
relativity
You
or
have
Newtonian mechanics?
you can't process higher order logics. Just keep quiet, bro.
Okay, this isn't about logics. This is about information, right? You said that these people are knowledgeable and scientifically minded, right? You
No,
said that
what
they
will happen?
know about gravity.
Hold on.
They
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 they have
absolutely could
lots of
not.
scientific knowledge. If you debate with any flat earther, they have a lot of
They have
scientific knowledge.
no, they
They are not
don't. They
dumb.
have
First of all, they
pseudoscientific
are not
knowledge.
dumb.
They are very
Understand?
dumb.
My God, he's a
They have pseudoscientific knowledge. They have
bro.
stuff
You
that
are
they
an illusion,
gleaned
bro.
from YouTube from other
You
flat
can't
earthers. They attended
hold on,
YouTube
bro.
University.
Believe me, bro. They are far more scientific than you, flat earthers.
No,
But
they're
they still
not.
believe Earth is flat.
They've never been in a lab a day in their life. They've never done a scientific experiment.
Okay,
They don't know how to
what is
read
your level
a
of
science
understanding of science?
paper.
Tell me.
What's
No,
that?
what is your level of understanding of the science?
Cal,
I don't think.
I'd say I have
Cal,
a
I think you are
moderate.
very poor at science. But
Cal,
you
Okay.
still,
Cal, can I ask
but
you
you still
something?
think
Cal,
Earth is
Cal,
round, right?
can I just ask you something?
Yeah, yeah.
Have you heard about the dangerous effects of dihydrogen monoxide that's been happening?
What?
I heard it's
No,
terribly
what I am saying,
addictive,
what
dude.
I am
No. I
saying,
said,
as a
have you heard about the
civilization,
news?
these phenomena
Have
keeps on
you
rising.
heard the recent news reports, right, about dihydrogen monoxide?
No, no,
It's
bro.
really bad, man. I
So
mean, apparently it's a certain vapor that's found in the air. That can be found at different levels of the atmosphere. You can't see it; it's so small. But they're saying that it could be dangerous.
Well, from what I
okay,
understand, Stu, from my
that's good.
reading on it, it's in everything
This
nowadays,
no, bro.
and you can't
Understand
go
it.
more than a
It's a
couple of days
phenomenon.
without it
Yeah,
without
I
dying.
heard that. I
Yeah,
heard that.
it's very
Flat Earth
addictive.
is
It's
a
once you
social
get it in
phenomena,
your
actually.
system, you just
Understand
can't
it.
stop.
It's not a scientific phenomena. It's a social phenomena. Flat Earth is a social phenomena.
Yeah, so why are you appealing to
This
their
person
Because
understanding of
definitely
people,
have a very big
science?
prefrontal cortex, but he's not using his prefrontal cortex
If
for the
it's
he
a
logics.
is.
I don't
social
know
phenomenon,
what the heck is
Cal,
this.
why are you appealing to their knowledge and understanding of science that they have
They
demonstrated that
they
they
have
lack?
they have lot of understanding of science,
They
buoyancy,
do
everything,
not.
density. They know so many things, but they
They
still
know
want to. Why? You
words. They
know
know
why this is happening?
Donald,
catchphrases.
Because
They know words.
Donald,
They don't understand them.
no. People are not dumb, bro. People are not
do you
dumb.
think,
I
It's a
beg to
social phenomenon.
differ. I
Can I break
beg to
Donald, do you
differ.
think,
It's a
there's
late
some,
stage. It's a late
Donald, are you
stage
there?
civilizational
Hang on,
complacency,
Cal.
bro.
Hang on, Cal. What'd you say, Steve?
Do you think there's some truth to this? I was telling No Name there's a rumor going around that about the hydrogen monoxide. And I'm telling Cal about it. I say it's this
Shit.
invisible mist. Well,
Dude,
you can
it is
sometimes see
deadly
it
stuff
in
if
the.
it's inhaled. If you inhale that shit, it'll kill you quick,
Yes.
man.
Yes.
I've heard you can sometimes see it in the morning, like in the earliest parts of the morning.
Only on cool
But then
days
it
when it was a
disappears.
warm night.
But then it disappears. But I've heard it's
Yeah.
dangerous.
What about
An
the fact
odorless, tasteless,
yep,
colorless substance, and it is
pernicious?
deadly when inhaled.
I tell you another fact about it. This is crazy, y'all, but they're calling it. This is what they're calling it now. The universal solvent.
Oh my god. It'll
Says it can
dissolve
corrode
anything.
anything. It'll dissolve
But
anything.
bro, it's not only going to restrict to flat Earth. There are so many other phenomena going to come up, which people earlier think that okay, this is the way.
Maybe
But
maybe
now
that's one of
people
the
will believe
phenomenas.
what they
Do you
want to
think
believe.
that could be one of the phenomenas,
We
Cal?
have
This
at that
the,
stage of civilization right
no
now,
no no. Do you
where
think this? Do
people
you
will
think?
do whatever
Do you
they want to
think?
do.
Do you think this
Dude,
They
I'm
can
dihydrogen thing
serious.
even
could be?
believe that a shit is a food.
Actually killed me once. I died from dihydrogen monoxide poisoning once.
No.
Yes.
How did they bring you back? Did they take it out of you? What did they do?
It was like CPR resuscitation. That's what got
So you got it. You actually got it in your lungs.
Yes.
Holy
Lifelong
shit! And you're
I've
lifelong
here
heard
to
that.
problems.
tell the
Ever
tale.
since
That's actually
then, I've
fatal.
been tortured by my body every day of my
That's
life.
right.
Yeah, that's fatal. You get dihydrogen monoxide in your lungs. It can block your air passages.
Oh shit! Yeah,
it can cause cardiac arrest. I heard it's really dangerous.
So
Now,
why are you discussing this thing, bro?
I also heard that
this gas,
a few years ago there
what
were
actually
some
happened?
radio
Tell me.
stations doing a challenge with people to drink as much of it as they could, and a lady actually died from drinking too
Several
much of it.
people got
Yes,
sent to the hospital, and somebody actually died.
I mean, think about it. That was a radio station telling people to drink this poison. It's crazy.
Poison.
Well, it takes on different forms, Cal. It can be a gas, but it can be a liquid as well, and it can also take on the form of crystals. But they're not trying to tell people about it.
Slice you to bits if you.
So why we are
That's
discussing that thing here? Like,
Well, because
because if you think about it, also like currently the NIOSH, which I'm not sure if you know what the NIOSH is, it's essentially a guide for dangerous chemicals in the U.S. The NIOSH actually doesn't tell you what the IDLH level for it is, which is the immediately dangerous to life and health. In other words, what the amount it would take for it to kill you if inhaled. Even the IDLH is not determined here in the U.S.
It's not even in that book. Is that what you're saying?
It's in every soda that they sell at the grocery store and gas stations. It's not even FDA approved.
It's never been tested. They don't know.
Right. We don't know what the long-term effects of this substance is.
It's deadly stuff, man. Deadly stuff. But if a public place
why people
does
are
not have
doing this?
access to it,
What
if
happened?
a public place does not have access to it, they have to close the building.
Right.
They want people not to know the truth. They're trying to hide the truth from people.
Hiding.
They're telling us it's safe, right? But what aren't they telling us? Because like in certain conditions, it has a very light blue turquoise color, right?
Right.
But it needs certain conditions to see it. Other than that, it's transparent. It's very hard to see.
Utterly colorless and odorless and tasteless.
So just tuck in Pura, since you were like asking about it and all that, considering that you're wondering why we're even talking about it right now, right? So I guess I got a question. Oh yeah, I just got a question for you. I don't even think it's a conspiracy. I think it's true. Well,
just because it's true doesn't make it not a conspiracy.
Correct.
This is totally going on YouTube, guys.
Just a real quick question for you. Considering everything everybody was just saying about dihydrogen monoxide, would you be willing to drink it?
I'm drinking it right now. Except it's hot.
Yeah, but you're addicted.
Except it's hot and black.
I will first research by myself what is that. Then I will think about.
Dihydrogen monoxide is hot and black.
Donald, I keep telling you, don't drink it. You got to stop drinking it, man.
Look, so it makes me feel so good.
Damn,
it doesn't matter.
It's like alcohol. Donald, it's always poison.
They say it's safer. They say it's safer if it's been distilled and maybe have some like
yeast,
alcohol or something. Yeah, something to denature it. I mean, it's been the leading cause of death in most wars too. It turns out, causes dysentery.
Donald, it's not funny, man. It's dihydrogen monoxide isn't a laughing matter. Stop laughing. Yeah. It's not funny.
One of the most poisonous substances on the planet to carbon-based life.
It's very true.
But, ironically, it's also required for carbon-based life to survive.
That's how they get you. They get you hooked on it.
No, that's what they tell us. That's what they tell us. That's what the scientists tell us.
So we'll keep paying our bills.
They tell us it's required to hide the truth. Yeah, to hide the truth of the actual harmfulness of this gas state liquid crystal that has different forms under different temperatures, right?
Oh, can it be a plasma? I don't think it can be a plasma. No.
This is the biggest danger of capitalism. This is the far
more bad.
All about the money. They want us
They're selling it. They're selling it.
Dihydrogen monoxide bill.
That shit comes free, straight out of the ground or out of the sky, and they're still charging you for it. It's insane.
Selling at the gas station, man.
Right.
Okay, but Takenpura, what do you mean this is the danger of capitalism? Can you explain that a little bit? How this is the danger of capitalism?
Awesome.
Because
Hiding the
capitalism
truth
as
from
a
us.
concept is a very good concept. You will have like prosperity and everything, but when your sole motive is profit and you are
Oh,
selling
Buster.
the things which is not good for the people, that's
Yeah,
where
like
dangerous of capitalism, I think.
Like
yeah,
dihydrogen
like
monoxide. I'm
yeah,
surprised a
yeah.
genius like you this hasn't come up on your radar yet, man. That's
Well, they might be
crazy.
talking about it. It might be new. It's new. It's this new thing, It's
Yeah, but geniuses are always ahead of the curve, and I know he
Hey,
hangs
has
out with like
Stefan ever
Elon
mentioned dihydrogen
and
monoxide?
Stefan.
Has Stefan ever mentioned dihydrogen
he
monoxide
might have
poisoning?
done. He might have done. I think he's scared of it. I think he doesn't like to talk about it too much.
I think he created it because he's a genius.
Donald, do you have replays on ever?
Not right now. I can if you want, but I'm recording for YouTube.
You've had in the past?
No, not in this room. This is my first room in this house.
Okay. Because
But this is a flat Earth house. I'm probably going to turn on replays.
so there's no replays from like even months ago.
This is my first time to open this room.
First time.
But for the God room, this is not a God room. This is a flat Earth room. But for the God room, I never have replays.
But guys, mark my words. We are on the verge of collapse as a civilization.
Okay, Cal, I'm having a
Cool
conversation.
Very late
opinion,
stage.
bro.
That's all right.
Hang on, brother. Cal.
No,
Is that
thank you.
Stefan's
Stop.
warning?
That's all right. Thank you.
So,
No,
Joanna,
because,
what did you?
yeah.
What were you curious about?
Well, just on the subject, I know you switched subjects, but on the subject of me,
Yeah.
when I first admitted, I came and I met you guys, and I said, oh, I'm involved with this and that. And that person that just tore me to shreds and said, you're a fuck, how stupid could you be and whatnot. I wanted to hear the replays about that.
Oh, I get it.
The way
Do you remember who it was?
she knocked me down.
Yeah, if you can find who it was,
continuously.
they might have a replay, but I don't know.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Do you remember who it was?
She may not want to say. I don't know.
Oh,
yeah.
I
Sorry?
figured it might help. I was just asking if you remembered who it was. It might help figure out.
Victoria Redbourne.
Oh wow.
Every
Victoria
time I came in
shredded
the
you
room,
over that?
What?
For flat Earth?
Anything I said, if I said I was doing following Santos, or anything I said,
I remember that bit when she was bitching about Santos every time you brought him up.
really putting me down. Like, how stupid could you be? And I just wanted to see if I could find it on recording. But okay, cool.
So just, I want to make sure to kind of get my, oh shit, he left. Never mind.
Who, Cal?
Cal.
He'll be back. He always
Oh yeah, Cal is a glutton for punishment. He can't stay away from one for long.
Yeah, I hope he finds the truth about this.
Was all of that about Cal?
What bullshit was he talking about?
I could see he was just going to keep, gish galloping, no name. So I thought I'd just see, because he was talking science. We know more about science. So I said, let's put this to the test. And I asked him, had he heard about the dangerous chemical called dihydrogen monoxide?
God, I remember that. Like, that was one of the first, like, chain email letters I ever got, was back in like maybe the late 90s. Was the joke about dihydrogen monoxide and how
Hang
this
on,
kid.
there was someone else who was trying to say something a couple of times.
Oh, my bad, I couldn't hear.
Oh, it's cool.
Go ahead.
The other person, I don't know who it was.
I think it might have been me. Yeah. I was gonna say, speaking of, complacency, as that guy was calling it, social complacency. He could have literally looked this thing up, DHMO or dihydrogen monoxide, like in 2 seconds and figured out exactly what the fuck we were.
We can talk to him about dihydrogen.
Why look it up when he has Stefan answer the questions?
Yeah. Hey, Takimpura, I had a question for you. Are you still here?
Yeah, he's back.
Yeah.
Cal. Yeah.
Okay, so you remember how we were talking about the whole dihydrogen monoxide thing, right?
Yeah, I'm not talking. Stu is talking.
Oh, okay, yes, but you remember when we were all talking? It wasn't just Stu; it was multiple people. We were talking about all the messed up, dangerous stuff about it, right?
Yeah.
So, like, if you were to if I were to provide you, studies and stuff to talk that told you about how this chemical contributes to greenhouse effects and it causes
it's the worst greenhouse gas on the planet.
Yeah, and that it can cause severe burns, and it also contributes to erosion in a natural landscape, all types of stuff, like the fact that it gets used in power plants and even in
Nuclear power plants use it all the time, and then just push it right back out into the environment.
Right. Like if I were to give you like literal studies to show you that this is the stuff, this is like, and how often it kills people all the time.
All the time.
You know, would you then say, okay, maybe I probably should not take it and I should not be giving it to my children?
Absolutely, but there is no need to you to give me the research thing. I am an independent researcher. I can research by my own, and I am a very efficient researcher. Maybe some people will give me a wrong information. Why will I believe in
Cal, it's actually...
I am an independent researcher. I will research by myself.
It's one of the most common causes next to vehicles that kills children. It's terrible. It kills a lot of kids a year. It's horrible.
Which?
Like toddlers, dihydrogen monoxide. Yeah, toddlers and infants and babies. It's quite, because they get it into their lungs. They get it into their lungs, and it makes it breathing very hard.
Also, because it's a solvent, it brings in toxins with it. Because it's one of the best solvents on the planet. So it can also bring toxins in with it whenever it goes into your body. Like people get like heavy metal poisoning if they drink dihydrogen monoxide that has like mercury in it, because mercury dissolves in this solution.
It's actually I've worked in decontamination before. It's actually something that's constantly used in decontamination, which is kind of crazy if you consider how contaminating it is.
Sure.
I mean, people are always talking about carbon monoxide, but they don't want to talk about dihydrogen monoxide, and I think that's something they should really talk about. I mean, they're saying about it's this thing that's everywhere, and they keep telling us it's safe, but I don't think it is.
I have been trying to spread the word that dihydrogen monoxide is one of the most deadly substances on the planet ever since it killed me. Fortunately, I was resuscitated. I'm better now.
Yeah, not clinically killed you, but close.
No, I was dead. I was dead for
oh, no, clinically.
No, it's not like 3
Oh, clinically, I get you. No brain activity.
Yeah, the 12 minutes, no brain damage. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, no, it can do that. It can get into your bloodstream. It can cause problems.
There's actually places where you can go to have it removed from your blood, and they pay you for it.
Yeah, it can also. The other thing that it does, Cal, is it actually removes iodine and sodium chloride from your blood, and it can actually make it very dangerous. That's what they say. They sell it, and they sell it in the bottles. Donald, stop laughing. You know Donald, he's weird. He just laughs at things sometimes. I don't get Donald. I don't know. This is a real serious thing.
He's autistic. That's why.
So we found out the Earth is flat, or?
Well, Cal was telling us he really knows, and his group knows a lot about science. And I wanted to say I think that's something they need to get onto, because I think that's something that's really important. I mean, it's just everywhere, and it's like I said to him, it's in the air.
Does he mean pseudoscience or actual science?
Well, no, because he said he knows, and he says, we said we don't know much about science, and I thought it's important that these guys get onto this,
Yeah, get your Nobel
I said,
Prize, Cal.
like the information is very easily.
Get your Nobel Prize, Cal. Go on, do it.
Yeah, so when I'm saying, nowadays the information is available for almost everyone. Anyone can read. Maybe they have not understood it fully, but they have some sense of information for that particular things. At least they have listened about the word actually. But what my understanding is, these things are a social phenomena. They are not a scientific phenomena that okay people are people don't have brain, they can't understand the earth is round. It's not that actually. It's kind of mind virus, it's this very sociological phenomena, which is very disturbing. It's a tip of the iceberg, I'm saying. That's why I use the words late stage civilizational complacency, and lots of things are coming in the future. Lots of things like the flat earth.
Speaking of icebergs, icebergs are very high in content in dihydrogen monoxide. And I think that's what they're not telling us about global warming, right? It's because the dihydrogen monoxide is causing problems and it's causing them to melt. And I think that's something that they need to look at too,
Yeah,
it's all this stuff it's all these lies they're telling us about climate change, right?
Donald?
If you guys look at the the formula, the chemical formula for the dihydrogen oxide is very similar to the water. But look at how the nature is. The structure of the dihydrogen oxide and the water is very different. The hybridization is very different. That's why it's making it poisonous. So yeah, people can fool someone in the name of dihydrogen monoxide, but it's really very harmful. Yeah.
Oh, it's deadly.
It can be very harmful, yes. Well, it's deadly, especially when it inhaled, it'll go into your lungs, very deadly. And like I said, and as the gentleman said, it's
Cal and his
used in...
friends will save us.
But I still have to research on it, like how deadly and why it is
Yeah,
deadly.
it's used in chemical filtration and desanitization processes. It's there's a lot of stuff they won't tell us about it.
Right? Is that a thing?
Yeah.
And one thing is, I am very sure it is definitely very cheap to use it to save their cost for industrial production. That's why they are using it.
Yeah.
And most of
it cheaper.
And this is the course of the history.
Makes it cheaper.
People use plastics because it's very cheap. And look how what's the condition of the earth right now.
Donald, if
like
you can hear me,
lots of
I just want to say good night.
Good night,
Thank
Joanna.
you, and
Night,
you
Joanna.
can laugh as much as you want.
Oh,
Laughing is a beautiful, beautiful thing.
I appreciate it.
Okay, honey.
Donald has epilepsy, Yeah.
Yeah, what was the other thing?
I can understand him why he's laughing.
Yeah, I mean, it's not. I mean, sometimes when people are really nervous, they laugh.
No. It's a brain state. Something triggers in your mind.
Well, it almost killed him.
And
so
you suddenly laugh.
I giggle when I don't understand things.
And well, look, it almost killed him. And sometimes people laugh when they were thinking about trauma, right? So he's probably laughing.
PTSD from my dihydrogen monoxide.
from the dihydrogen monoxide. Yeah.
Poisoning. Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those things that they don't really like talking about.
Yeah, it's hard. And when you brought up the iodine sodium chloride thing, that just put me over the edge. I'm sorry, because while it wasn't specifically that, the dihydrogen monoxide that killed me was chlorinated. So the chloride thing got me.
The collapse of the Western civilization is on the verge, bro. Like the first civilization which will collapse is Western civilization. And
if they keep processing, that's part of it, man. If they keep processing this deadly gas chemical crystal, it's
solvent crystal.
I think that's
gas chemicals, gas solvent crystal. Sorry.
Yeah, well, it's comprised of gases, isn't it?
Comprised of gases. Yeah, you're right. My bad. It is a chemical. My bad.
But it's mostly a solvent crystal, yeah, because even in its gas form, it's more like a cloud. It's not really a gas, but you can see it under the right light conditions, but it requires the right light conditions to see it, and usually it has to be cold, for you to actually see it.
This matrix is definitely very evil, sometimes.
Warrior, welcome back, buddy. We're talking about the deadly effects of dihydrogen monoxide poisoning. Have you ever heard of that? I guess not.
Yeah, we've been telling Kal about it. Kal was telling us that his guys are really good scientists, part of his group. And he's telling us that we don't know anything about science. So I asked him, what was this group doing about the changes that are happening with dihydrogen monoxide, and this deadly thing that's happening. I wanted to know what his guys were doing to protect it, because it's everywhere. It's in the air we breathe. It gets in your lungs, it kills you.
Environment, literally changing.
It's changing the environment, yeah. So we're just talking to Kal about that, and he's going to research it and see what his guys are coming up with.
It's a bad thing, Like it will definitely, if it causes global warming, then it's a more severe thing, definitely.
It's the worst greenhouse gas on the planet.
Yeah. What is the gestation period of dihydrogen oxide in the atmosphere?
It's a chemical. It doesn't have a gestation period.
No. What is the gestation period of the dihydrogen oxide in the atmosphere?
It's a chemical. It doesn't have a gestation period.
Yeah, no, it doesn't have a. It's not. It is stable. It's not an unstable element, so it doesn't really have a half-life. I think it can get absorbed by the body, like it's with nutrients. Oh, and that's the other thing I forgot to tell you, Cal. I forgot to tell you is that it's part of the thing that controls the heating in microwaves. That's what they don't tell you. So dihydrogen monoxide, right, is part of the process of how microwaves heat food. It gets into your food. When you hit microwaves with food, it forms the dihydrogen monoxide and moves it around and brings it out so that it can actually make it more lethal.
What they don't want you to know is that if
I have to research it. Yeah, I will definitely research about this thing.
Better. What they don't want you to know is that when you add more dihydrogen monoxide, the microwave works better.
I can't simply believe Stu. I can't simply believe you because I actually like research.
I understand, man. It's a lot to take in, man. It is. It's a lot to take in. So something to look at anyway.
I have to make the whole vector space in order to understand the full picture. What the thing actually is and how it is literally impacting things. So
it's unbelievable how much of an impact hydrogen monoxide has on our Earth. It's indescribable. It's like without it, I mean, at the same time, it's so dangerous, but it's part of the ecosystem.
What is the main source of what is the main source of dihydrogen oxide in the atmosphere? How it is generating? Due to some activities by the humans?
I think they can. Donald, can they make it with electrolysis? I think that's one of the ways they can make it.
Hydrolysis.
Oh, hydrolysis. Sorry, hydrolysis. I thought it was electrolysis. That's aluminium.
The electrolysis splits them apart. Hydrolysis puts them together.
Yeah, and that's what they're planning to do on the well, not the moon. The fake location that they do the moon recordings, and they're thinking of using hydrolysis to get more dihydrogen monoxide.
Okay.